What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Fanatic. Island is your home for sports and sports entertainment. And today, do we have New Heat View? I don't know what the name is right now, but
we can figure it out.
By the time this episode airs, we will have a name for you. So we'll introduce our guest. We tried to sit down with him earlier, and we had, a little bit of technical difficulties.
I mean, they don't know that. That's right.
Yeah, they don't know that, but total transparency, because we dropped his name in a previous video.
Yeah.
The future, this is the future video.
So fair enough.
This is the future video. So I'll let him introduce himself. We've known this guy from, he was a very young lad. So
fair enough.
Without further ado, Craig.
My name is Craig Walkine. I'm a local Bahamian filmmaker, and I guess movie lover. With my credentials.
No man, you being modest.
He's very modest. He's very modest. Don't trust me. This man is a big deal. He's a big deal.
Exactly.
If you watch TV, or if you have a phone, you have the internet, there is a chance that you've seen something that he's worked on.
Very true.
Fail.
Exactly.
Fail.
But before we get into the special surprise we got, why don't you tell us what made you decide to go into filmmaking, and what made you decide to do what you do? What motivated you to do what you do?
Morbid curiosity, if anything. I remember growing up, I was always a computer guy. So I was a tech guy, always fiddled around with computers and so on, same with most people in my family. So when it came to getting into video editing on the filmmaking side, it was more so I was home one summer. I can't remember what grade it was in. I was home one summer, and AMVs was like the thing. That's what everybody used to watch.
Yeah, they still popping though.
And they still popping, of course. And I remember I was just like, you know what, I can make an hour to AMV. So I taught myself Windows Movie Maker way back in the day, and I just took off from there. I enjoyed the process, and off from there to Sony Vegas to all that other stuff. And nobody else really does it, and I enjoy it. It's a lot of hours in front of the computer, so yeah.
Hey, I'm not mad at all. That's I'm glad you was able to find what your niche is. I'm glad you was able to find your purpose and what drive you. But without further ado, obviously we don't, at this point in the episode, if you're watching this, you know who we are.
Yeah, man.
If you don't know who we are, go back, watch some older videos. We introduce ourselves.
Start from the beginning, Mussie, because I don't know what you're doing.
Cadero, Macario.
Yeah.
You know how it is.
Yeah.
But on to the New Heat. Which one y'all want to introduce what we're going to do today? And then we can go from there.
I spent the last 7 years of my life living out my wildest dreams. Bianca, Rocky, my dad. This was built on their shoulders. Hey, my man, can I help you?
Let me get an autograph.
Nah, I ain't signing no autographs, but you get off my car.
You don't remember me, huh?
Damien. How long were you locked up?
18 years, bro. Just got out last week.
Glad to have you back out, huh?
I know I've been away a long time, but I kept myself in shape. I still got gas in the tank.
Come by the gym.
Thank you.
Curious what happened with you two?
I didn't tell you. We was like brothers. I was the best, though. But I never got a chance to prove that. That's cute.
Hurt me?
I know what you're doing, Donnie. You don't owe this dude nothing.
Damien's fighting the world and he's trying to hurt people.
I vouch for you. You think you mad? Try spending half your life in a cell. Watching somebody else live your life. I'm coming for everything. You threatening me?
Something is going on with you.
Damien was like family.
Now we past talking.
Then maybe you just have to find him.
Do what I gotta do. Some of my methods you might disagree with me. These are family ties. I recognize mine. I know that they needed me. Post-traumatic stress, watch it manifest. Got my only fear. I ain't scared of death. Did you hear me yet? I ain't scared of death. Did you hear me yet? What you gonna do? Threaten to take my breath?
need you to let go of your fear. Let go of the guilt. Let go of whatever was and walk into what is.
I fear those chains are breaking, yeah. I fear God, I don't fear death. I see those stripes and take a step.
Well, today we're going to talk about Creed 3, the third installment in the Creed series. For those of you who are familiar with the Rocky franchise, Michael B. Jordan did a little spin-off called Creed. And all of the movies have been stupidly successful. And this weekend was the premiere for Creed 3 and Michael B. Jordan's directorial debut. So first movies he's ever directed. And it features him, Jonathan Majors, Tessa Thompson, and yeah.
So without further ado, there should be something going on. This is the spoiler-free segment. So if you haven't watched the movie, watch the movie. But if you have watched the movie, let us know your thoughts as we go through the segment, and then we'll go through into a spoiler segment. We'll let you know, so that way you can skip ahead. We don't want you to stop watching the video, but skip ahead. If you want to be spoiled, be spoiled. Watch the movie. Don't let this stop you from watching the movie. Don't let this stop you from watching the episode.
Fair enough.
Or watch the movie, then come back for the spoiler segment. So, what I guess is everyone's. I haven't watched the movie, so I'm about to be spoiled. But what I know two of you have watched the movie.
Yeah,
you watched it Wednesday. It came out Friday. I don't know what kind of black magic y'all doing, but
put on your notifications on Twitter. That's all they saying.
Yeah, boy.
What I guess we can start with Craig, since Craig is the guest. What was your thoughts and your input on the movie, and then we'll go to Macario.
I loved it. I'm a huge fan of sports movies. I'm a huge fan of boxing movies. I'm a super huge fan of all the Rocky movies. And I loved all the Creed movies ever since they came out. And so when I heard Creed 3 was coming out, especially when Michael B. Jordan was directing, I was like, well, of course I got to see it. And then Jonathan Majors being the antagonist in the movie, I was like, of course I got to see it. This Kang we talking about. And he's always been good in his other stuff like Lovecraft Country and Holiday Fall and so on and so forth. But, I mean, overall, I loved it. There's really not a whole lot of problems I have with it. I think it's my favorite of the Creed movies. I need to rewatch them. But
real.
That's big.
I know, because I really like the original Creed. Creed 2 was good. Creed 3, I think it brought a certain style to the boxing, to even just sports movie in general, but a certain style to the story that I didn't expect, which we'll get into.
Yeah.
It was very lean, very straightforward, very to the point movie. Music was banging, performances was on point. It was funny, it was dramatic, it was sad. So yeah, I mean, I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll agree, man. I mean, if it's a true trilogy and not like how the Rocky movies were with more, I felt like it was a perfect ending for Creed, or whatever else they do in the future. But with all that, like we said, Jonathan Majors on fire since
he started.
Like, exactly, since he started. I feel like Michael B. Jordan gets split reviews, maybe because I don't know how women feel about him or whatever. But anyways, I feel like this was one of his best performances as well. Even from a director standpoint as well, because that was actually surprising. Like he took a big risk, I think.
Yeah, boy.
and it paid off, so that was good. Like you said, with the music and the themes, it was pretty on point. I can't be mad. It was worth the money.
Well worth it. I won't see it again.
That's one of the best films I've seen in a couple of years, a few years.
And this actually, we were talking about this before, but this actually works out perfectly. Me not watching the movie, because now I actually have all the questions I get asked. So I saw that he had some, they said they leaned on a lot of animes, like anime fights, fighting animes for inspiration on some of the scenes. I guess my question would be, one, were they noticeable? Were you able to pick out which fights it was in? Like, you could say, I guess since we're still in the spoiler-free part, you could say if you notice it, and is it huge? Like, can I be there sitting and it's like, they definitely pulled from.
Oh this. Yeah, by 110%, 110%. But it's good tribute though. It's a good tribute because I feel like a lot of directors love anime, a lot of filmmakers love anime. A lot of filmmakers will put it in their movies. Like the Akira motorcycle slide is the most obvious example, but you don't hear a whole lot of filmmakers or directors talking about it. And so after the trailer came out, Michael B. Jordan was very, very, very like open with his inspirations. He said for the fights he was definitely inspired by Hajime no Ippo, the boxing manga and anime, and then Dragon Ball Z and Naruto for sure. And he was just like, yeah, everybody else on set was required to watch it and so on. So when you could tell, you could tell. Even there was a point where we was watching it, and one by a couple of rows in back was just like, man, it's anime.
Real talk.
Man, it's anime.
Like, how does baby know that?
I tell you, like you could tell. It's just I don't know. Like I mean, you watch enough anime, you know, anime is paced out. You know, just how it flows, and it's just there. All the camera angles is just there.
Yeah.
Like with no spoilers, like there's a few moments in fights where like time would slow down and people would be zoning on which muscles they will punch.
Oh, okay.
Very anime.
Yeah.
Very, very, very anime. But yeah, so it's easy to tell. It's that easy to tell if you're familiar with it. And that's what it's. I think that's like what was so unique about it. Like it could have been just a normal like punch out. Like Creed 1 had the distinct style with Ryan Coogler. He loves his one take. So a lot of it was just like camera comes in the ring and it's like circling around the boxes. It's one take, one big dramatic fight, which is great. Creed 2 was much more traditional sports cinematography. It was just simple, like not simple, but it was like stylized, but still point and shoot, edit, point, shoot, edit. And this it was just very anime inspired, 110%, down to even the composition of some of the shots. So it was good.
I agree. Even with all the themes, even when they ain't fighting, it was like, okay, this still feel like anime, bro. Like how y'all have everything set up. It's like, okay, I see what's happening now. It's like, okay, this person has instant plot armor, the other person does not. But okay.
They legit, the only thing that was missing was the theme song.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
Because you know, like in most anime, especially if you watch the opening, you know what's coming. Like anime really doesn't try to pride itself.
Bruh, Food Wars.
Yeah, I tell you, Food Wars. You know exactly what's gonna happen. But anime prides itself in like it'll tell you straight up exactly, hey, these are the characters in the season, this is the villains, these are the people, whatever.
Yeah.
And so the journey really is just watching it, already having those puzzle pieces, and that was 100% Greed because you open up on a flashback.
Yeah.
But they don't show you the whole thing. They show you like the key components of it, and you're just like, okay, I see.
I think he overstayed from Black Panther with that flashback too, though. Like that theme, almost. But it's not the same type of flashback, but it was still like.
Yeah, because Ryan Coogler, he produced the movie, and he's been working on Michael B. Jordan since Fruitvale Station.
Exactly.
And so them two have a very close bond, so I know that definitely had some influence on it.
Hey, the name broke.
Exactly.
So, I guess, so it was a huge risk them, doing the anime themes, doing the getting the inspiration from anime. Like you said, a lot of people do it, but they don't actually like showcase it. They don't actually say it, and I'm glad that was successful. That I'm glad that worked because, like you said, that's a huge. A lot of people don't like anime. It's 2023. A lot of
they
people
think they don't like anime. Let's be real.
True.
Let's be real here.
There's an anime out there for everybody.
Really.
Yeah.
But do you see more like movies? I guess. Well, I guess it's still early on. I guess with the success of we'll see with the success. We'll see what the success of Creed 3 is, right? But do you think more movies are going to like undertake the whole inspiration from anime and see if it works? Not necessarily fighting anime, but like driving, Dark Food Wars.
I guess it sort of depends, because I guess it'll depend on how transparent the director is in terms of the inspirations, because you could look at a whole lot of Christopher Nolan's a huge Perfect Blue fan and Akira, and he has a lot of Perfect Blue, Ghost in the Shell and Akira stuff in his movies. And even Del Toro taking from Gundam from Pacific Rim, and Neon Genesis Evangelion, stuff like that, but they just don't talk about it as much. So I'm hoping that this really does open the door for more of that conversation. Because like gone are the days when anime is just like that weird Japanese cartoon thing, like anime encompasses so many different themes, so many different stories. There's no reason for it to not continually be used. So I really do hope that, I guess in the future, especially if Michael keep directing, I really hope we start to get like more of that, because it makes it super interesting. It's like, it's fun.
Yeah, the people who watching the movies now, most of them grew up watching anime from out the womb. So come on, we have to have it. I don't see why they wouldn't go that route. But
especially for like streamlined stories, because this was a simple movie. Like,
Exactly.
you get from point A to point B. They cut out all the fat. You don't need to worry about it.
That's exactly what he did, though.
Like they kept that straight to the point.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jonathan Majors, right? He's slowly been creeping up over the last few years. Like I said, I hadn't noticed him. Like it's only until like I started go like back checking.
Yeah.
It's like, all right,
There he
actually
is.
been here. It's like
It's
like
for a minute, yeah.
I guess the perfect illustration of Kang. Like, you know, when you go back, he's always been here. It's just like the fact is like you're just now realizing
Exactly.
what he is, right? And you know, we've had a few movies of him popping up. How is he as an antagonist in this movie?
Like, dog.
Perfect. Oh Lord,
Like,
I would spoil that.
we get to the spoilers.
We're almost there.
No, I've followed Jonathan. My first time seeing him was The Last Black Man in San Francisco, and that was an A24 film. That was a limited release indie film, and he was a supporting character in that, and he was cool. I was just like, "Wait, let's do this." That was cool. And then Lovecraft Country came out. He killed it in Lovecraft Country. And then Harder They Fall came out. He killed it in Harder They Fall, and he just continued to like just bulldoze. And so seeing him in this movie, I know he was gonna kill it, especially for him. Like it's the perfect storm with him being the next big bad in the MCU. All the projects he's been in has been award winning. Well, not all, most. But I know he was gonna be good, but he was good.
He did get to another level.
I didn't want to look at. I would not look in his direction. Like he was menacing on screen, and and it was interesting too because I think I saw some interviews where he talked about because he's big on improvisation. He talked about some moments that like he improv. I mean, for fun. So it's like, and it just makes his characters that much more interesting. It's like because in this movie he has very limited dialogue. He doesn't say a whole time. He murmurs, like, but his movements, how he's like, his eyes though. And then fights his eyes, I just be like, I won't fight you, but
Not at all, but
because I was like, Adonis, I know if you could beat this, but I
yeah, and that's another thing. I mean, because at the same time, he's like, okay, this is Adonis Creed, bro.
Yeah,
he should not be losing a fight. So I mean,
yeah. But he
was there. He was there. He was there.
We've had Michael B. Jordan in a few movies, Black Panther 2. I mean, I don't count about Black Panther 2. It's like 2 minutes.
Yeah, a little cameo.
And like sometimes there are mixed reviews with his I guess his character, as in, you know, is he a good guy, or is he a decent bad guy? How was he in this movie, and what I guess is his perfect role, as in protagonist, antagonist, a mixture of both? Because like I said, we've seen him in both roles recently. So,
I mean, honestly, for me, I little mix on Michael B. Jordan as an actor. Like he's good. He's in my opinion, he hasn't had a bad performance. But he isn't as strong as other people who punch in his weight class, if that makes sense. Like Jonathan Majors, for example. Although Michael B. Jordan's been around longer, I think he made a really good Killmonger. I thought he was really good. Like Fruitvale Station to me is his best performance, period. He was really good Killmonger. He was good in Raising Dion on Netflix. And he's good in his roles. He's just, like, he has a certain type, if that makes sense. So in Creed, like that's his box, and he does fantastic because he doesn't need to be overly dramatic. He could be much more subtle.
He literally was himself in Creed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like he was himself. Like, and I don't think that's a bad thing. That's just some actors, and when he given the right direction or he's in this way he needs to be, like he's good. And there was no moment in the movie where, in my opinion, Jonathan Majors outshined Michael B. Jordan. It was like them two was in sync.
okay.
Like, whenever they had the screen, like they had the attention, and they both played their roles equally fantastically. Jonathan Majors, I think, is highlighted a bit more because he was an unexpected villain, if that kind of makes sense. Like, if you was to put The Rock in that position, for example, everybody know The Rock.
That wasn't gonna work at all.
But with Jonathan, that wasn't gonna work at all.
An ex-army guy, trying to get into the
foolishness.
Like,
some foolishness.
Like, so it was really, really good, and both their performances remind me a lot of Warrior. The movie came out in 2011. It was Joel Edgerton and Tom Hardy.
Okay.
And it was that sort of thing where like they both were just fantastic. Period. Like thankfully they didn't outshine each other. But yeah, Michael B. Jordan as an actor, I like him, but I don't think he has as big of a range as some other actors, and I don't think that's a problem. I think that's just what it is.
What I think he should do is go the Denzel route. Denzel, like,
True.
you know it's Denzel in the movie, but like he's supposed to play a specific role, but he's going to make the role him.
Yeah, like Tom Hanks too. Like,
Yeah, like
that's just them in the movie.
Will Smith will adapt to each role, but Denzel Washington will create it to be just him.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So if Michael B. Jordan wants to be yourself, like just make the role you.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
how I
curious to
feel.
see how much longer he'll do acting, because if he's been producing for a while and since it's a successful directorial debut, I mean, I could see in the future where he probably take a step back a little bit and just focus on directing.
See, I wanted him as the next Black Panther. Like I thought they were gonna go that route. We're talking about Creed. We're not. I just
say what you gotta say, man.
Off my chest. I wanted him as the next Black Panther. Right? I was like, they could go. Marvel is so vast. You could go into the multiverse. You could find a version of him. Like we saw a version of him in What If, and he was Black Panther. He came back. He donned the Ultron armor. I was expecting him at least not in Black Panther 2, but in future movies. So, plop him out of a multiverse. Plop him out of an Earth where he actually is. Black Panther and just bring him forth. But
I mean, the possibility is still there.
It
is, but I feel like because we saw him in Black Panther 2
they already spoiled
dead.
it.
Yeah, like
he's dead in that timeline, but dead on that Earth. But I feel like that kind of nipped everything in the butt.
Yeah.
So I feel like if he didn't show up in that movie, then it would have been like
yeah.
I mean, we got Mr. Fantastic and Multiverse of Madness, although that wasn't like.
They're not going to use him though.
We don't know that.
Yeah, that's true.
We don't know that.
Yeah.
But I understand.
They should.
They should. I'd be down.
But it was another big star. I mean, you could call it a big star. In the movie. How was my girl Tessa?
Fantastic as always. I love Tessa Thompson. I've always loved Tessa Thompson. What was the last movie I saw? Oh, it's Thor: Love and Thunder, which
Yeah.
That wasn't bad.
It was good to see her act again.
That wasn't bad for me.
It wasn't bad.
I wasn't bothered.
I just don't need to see it again.
I wasn't bothered.
But she was good. But I think she had a whole. It felt like her character had a bit more weight. And
she had more depth.
Yeah, much more depth. Because yeah, because
you can see why we'll be
getting the spoilers. Yeah, because they have a family now, and this is in the trailer. They have a family, and so but it's a lot of. Because of Jonathan Major's character and the chaos he causes, she has a whole lot more responsibility, or a whole lot more, I guess, influence on Creed as a character. Where her role is way more important than I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
The higher you get, the harder it gets. That's life.
Because this is a war. It's a fight. It's a battle.
So, how long have you known each other?
We was like brothers.
One day you came back. The past came back too.
There may have been a time when Damien had your back.
No friends in the industry.
But that's not what he's doing now.
My brothers been my brothers, man. They no kidding me a fact.
Before I got locked up,
I was the best.
you a coward, bro. And a fraud. Try spending half your life in a cell. Watching somebody else live your life.
I had to draw the line.
I'm just getting started, little brother.
I had to draw the line between my brothers and my enemies.
I'm coming for it all.
It's not gonna stop.
Then you make him.
The one and only Adonis Creed, you're the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. 3 years ago, it's been a minute since you've been out in these streets.
When I walked away from boxing, I walked away with some unfinished business. You see that man right there? Do you remember him?
No friends in the industry. I had to draw the line between my brothers and my enemies. A fact. Let us start a beat, don't wanna keep it rap. Yeah, you hit us up and now we owe you something back.
Don't let him destroy everything you've built. Everything we've built.
Yeah, I had to draw the line between my brothers and my enemies. My brothers and my enemies. My brothers and my enemies.
You out there boxing. I need you to start fighting.
For those of you just, I don't know why you're just watching the video at this point, but for those of you, just watching the video.
They skip through, man. They skip through.
We're going over the Creed 3 review. This is our spoiler-free segment. But now, because these guys are aching for it.
Hot up.
And Prince, I apologize if you have not watched the movie.
Okay. But start from one.
Yeah.
All right.
He didn't remember none of this.
We'll let the dogs loose. We'll switch over to the, the spoiler segment. So, if you are watching the movie and you haven't watched it, we'll wait 5 seconds for you to pause it, pirate it. Don't pirate. Just that was a joke. Don't pirate it. Go to the movies. Go to the movies.
Is it a joke?
Go to the movies. But pause it. Watch the movie. Come back. Or if you don't care about spoilers, continue watching. And then after you watch it, let us know if they were right. If they're right to feel like how they felt. I haven't watched it, so I'm going to watch it after this. And I'll leave my comments too. You'll see my name pop up in the comments.
Cool.
But. Have at it. Y'all go.
Wait, we got to talk about Jonathan Majors. We got to talk about Bay, dog. We already said that he was great, but that was, I could say nigga, right?
Yeah.
That was the most niggly nigga I have played.
Super nigga, bro.
He have to be from Baytown.
Bro.
I get what no one say.
Understand, mate. Understand, mate.
That was like you have villains, then you have unruly people, mate. Like, this way was unruly, mate.
Exactly.
And what I really liked about it was the movie didn't, because it was so lean, he didn't have to have a mustache twirling moment to be like, hey, I'm gonna take down Creed. It was just hey, there was a moment in the movie Creed going on TV after your boy done take the heavyweight title. He going on TV. First take. On interview, live. My boy call him straight and say,
on the show,
what you saying, dog, you was a coward. On TV. And Creed was just like, hold on, you called me while I'm on the show. He's just like, wait, what you could do about it? He's like, I have to fight you. And my boy say, run it. Literally, that's the words of the movie, run it.
You pretty much bait him into fighting him at that point.
I say, wow, that's powerful.
Yeah, that was great.
Ain't no sitting in the dark room being gotta figure what to do. This boy was literally with he gal in the living room and on air was just like, yeah, wait, let's fight. Let's do it.
Yeah, man.
I was like, wow.
Because if you refuse him on air.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. And I think that was one of my favorite parts of Creed is just but you could get behind everybody's decision, because what's his name? Was it Dom?
What do you mean?
Jonathan Major character.
Yeah, Damon.
Damon. Because the setup is Creed and Damon grew up together in this home, and so there was this incident outside this convenience store where he pulled out a gun. And while Creed was beating this dude who was abusing him, pulled out a gun. He ran away. Police arrested Damon, and he was in jail till now, I guess, modern days. So now Creed done retire. He have the heavyweight title. He retired, owns a gym, all that good stuff.
He
straight chilling, and he trained up the next heavyweight. And this boy come out of nowhere and was like, "Yeah, man,
I need to fight this boy."
He was my boy. Let's catch up, whatever. You say, "I come to you for money. I come for the title." And Creed was just he was my boy, but you can't just do that. He's just you ain't heavy. I come for the title. Yeah. And it's just all right, we can set up a fight for you to do it. So he caught he caused.
He was wildin', son.
Wildin'. My boy caused the original match for the heavyweight title. Caused one of his boys who he going to prison with beat up this boy. So the slaughter
break his hand.
He break his, and he had a concussion too. Weeks or something like that. Yeah. And then he's just I want this heavyweight title.
This movie serious, man.
And Adonis was just sure, let's set up the fight. My heavyweight could beat him, obviously, but let's do it. And this boy raggy him in the ring, dog. Raggy him right up. Yeah. And I was like, wow. And so we have the heavyweight title. He caused Creed get embarrassed on the world's edge, and then Creed got to take it back.
Now, what we need, dog, bro, we might need 20 minutes on this.
During
the party.
Wait, for context, Tessa Dom's a character on the label.
Exactly.
And so was that Tanash singing?
That was Kalani.
That's Kalani, because Kalani singing at the label party, it was the album release party, and your boy show up because he get invited.
Yeah, they invite him to the party.
Yeah, they invite him to the party.
He was just huh? Because they was this the same party where the other fighter got attacked.
Yeah. So they were still boys at this point.
Yeah. So after all that, this boy pulled out a brush, bro. He started brushing his hair in the middle of the party, man. This is a private party, bro.
Leaning on the bar, dead serious.
Tell me that ain't somebody Who going to school right and not right now?
I'm telling you, boy. And talking to people, talking to people. I was like, boy, I was like, this boy cool.
I was like, boy, why you have a brush?
I tell you, and then my boy say, 2 Hennessy. 2 Hennessy.
This boy was golfing the Hennessy, bro.
Straight. God, I say, fell. What the heck?
Because Michael B. Jordan, they pull out the
that's when they went back to
Adonis Creed.
Yeah, they went back to that.
Pull out the VSOP.
Yeah.
This is a good Hennessy, dog.
Yeah.
Right there, he poured out for both of them. He sipping on it. Your boy's like. Anyways, what we doing, man? What you trying to do? What you trying to get into,
and it's the little things like that made his character so much better.
It was so subtle. Like,
so subtle. Because he could have been like a standard random black dude who got out of prison, but it's them little things where it's just like, but and that's what honestly even made it feel more anime inspired, because it's those little things. Like even at the party with the fight, there's like half a second, maybe 1 second, you see him turn around and talk to somebody, and your boys them going
bang,
and like you catch it, but you was just like, oh, he probably just talking to people. And then when you find out this boy getting face break, and you're just like, oh, that was his boy. I see.
The first thought I had was Frieza, bro.
Wait, for real?
Frieza,
for real?
Like, so you telling me it's almost like every time Frieza always coming back, man? It's like how he always doing this, man? Because it's like, okay, I being in prison, so now I souped up now and I can fight anybody. It's like, you be in prison though, like I don't understand.
I tell you, but you see, he's play dirty.
Yeah, exactly.
And that by them fights though.
Yeah,
that fights when he gink your boy in the shoulder. That first hard punch.
See, the first thing what I need people to understand is that boy who was under Adonis Creed, he was a mama's boy, bro.
Yeah, he was a mama's boy.
He wasn't ready for that fight.
No, because his mommy was his manager. And
he
wasn't
ready.
And that's one of them other things where it's just like, oh, your mommy is your manager.
Yeah, bro. Because
I'm like.
He telling the ref, he's like, boy, this boy cheating, boy. The ref is just like,
and this boy straight cheating. They talking about like, but he gonna elbow your boy, tear off PC skin on the side, and then he gonna gank him in his arm, almost dislocate his arm.
Exactly.
But playing that dirty and know it,
Exactly. And it's like, they asked him, he's like, you want to continue on with the fight? Because if he didn't continue with being no contest, he keep the belt. Yeah. But this moment, he's just like, we trying to get this money, buddy. Let's go, buddy. Fight, buddy. I was like, boy, how you can let your mommy speak for you like that in a life or death environment, bro?
Right.
So I was like, I mean, Jonathan made his character to flaunt out my Frieza, but it's like at the same time, buddy, you set yourself up for failure, buddy.
And them fights just draw you in, because all us was in there. All us in the theater like, boy, ref, you ain't see that?
Exactly, buddy. Exactly, buddy.
Like we had the actual match of that. But like we was talking about how they slimmed down on the movie, they wasted no time.
No, they didn't.
They literally, like, from the minute Michael B. Jordan say, I know somebody who could contest for the heavyweight belt, they going straight to the fight. There ain't no training montage, none of that foolishness.
Yeah,
they going straight to the fight.
I mean, they did have a training montage.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, but it wasn't like they didn't waste the time.
It wasn't like a Rocky style.
Yeah.
Oh, him carrying a tire through the desert.
Yeah.
Not at that first fight.
Drinking eggs and stuff.
Running up somebody's hill.
Yeah.
Because they skip all the filler episodes. They say, no, we going straight to the fight.
Yeah, this is straight cannon, bro.
Yeah, but straight cannon.
Yeah,
straight cannon. We ain't doing no food delivery foolishness. Or no beach episode.
No, that ain't happening.
But so what fight would you say is your favorite out of the bunch? Because I've been thinking about that like a little bit.
Fights?
It was what? It was 3 solid fights, right?
Yeah, it was the first one. It was a guy. It was the second one with the mama's boy.
And then the third one
and
was
then the final one. That's the final one, right?
Yeah. Creed and your boy.
I think I'd like. You gotta go with the third one.
But yeah,
it's obvious.
There's a moment during that last fight that, like, I mean, it's just straight up anime. I mean, like, so they fighting in the ring. People around them making noise. There's a moment when you focus in on the 2 fighters and they drown out. Like, everybody going out of the stadium. It's just the ring.
Literally them.
It's literally just them, and it's all internal dialogue, because it's Michael B. Jordan like trying to come to terms that, like, he ain't no punk even though he ran away. Like, this still his boy, but he have to defend his family, this is title, all that stuff. And so, like, it's just them in the ring. It goes completely silent. You slow it down. They punch each other. And then, like, a jail cell comes out of nowhere in the back after I think Michael get punched.
Yeah.
sort of
And
thing.
he lied on himself. So
And he
that's
lied on,
funny.
yeah, just stuff like that. It just made it cool because it was just like, that's different. You don't really see that.
Yeah.
You know, it was a little
I was like,
different.
man, this risky, but man, they play it off good.
They play it off damn
Yeah,
good. Because
yeah.
like them blows they was throwing.
Yeah,
I
they were
was
throwing
like,
haymakers. Every punch was a haymaker. But I was like, wait, what is this way?
like, straight Goku versus freaking Vegeta fight.
I'm
man.
telling you, man. I was like, wait, okay, they break
bad.
up. They break up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They break up bad.
Very much so. So I mean, that was a solid fight.
Yeah,
But even like what we was talking about with the anime stuff, like with the first fight, like how he was targeting your boy ribs, because he was like, okay, he keep leaving that open. I can just bait him to keep throwing punches, and then I can hit his ribs.
And he sock him in his ribs. Man.
Yeah, man, it was up. It was up. And yeah, I mean, the fight was solid.
The daughter. That was a cool little side.
Yeah,
thing.
they set that up. They set that up. For
That's
sure.
cool. Yeah,
that's a layup. That's a layup.
So they have a family in the movie, like I mentioned, and they have a daughter, but she's deaf.
Yeah,
Or
I remember the daughter from the second movie.
Right, and so she's older now, but she really want to take on Creed. She really want to be a boxer. So it was clear at the end, like, you know, the fight finished, everybody happy, yeah. She go in the ring and she started fighting. And throughout the movie, like, you see her like watching her daddy fight, trying to fight like her daddy and stuff like that. He's like, wait, where you learn this from? sort of.
Yeah.
Thing. So I think somewhere down the line, I mean, I assume that could probably be the next thing, and I wouldn't be mad at it if Michael B. Jordan take that on.
I wouldn't be mad at that, you know.
Even make it a TV series. I don't know what you can call it, but.
I do like the deaf representation. Like, they didn't just joke around with it. They actually did, like, full sign language. They had sign language scenes. She went to sign language school. They had a full scene there as
Punch
well.
the gallows.
She punched the gallows because they was like, I didn't know people who deaf is be fighting like that. They was like, what you mean? They kids, everybody's fighting. Like, what are you talking about? So you get, like, how they did it, like, say, oh, yeah, they just deaf people, put them over there, like, they regular people.
Yeah,
doesn't mean fragile with her.
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
Right.
So,
Yeah, because the gal is one gal come rip her paper and she draw with him and her and her daddy. And some girl she knocked in the face.
Yeah,
the automatic come. It was cool because they was talking with the principal and they had, or teacher, I guess, and they had the sign.
Yeah.
Even though teacher could talk, they had the sign just out of respect for the school.
yeah.
And that was some really good, like, organic representation for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is really cool.
How was Draco? What's his name?
Oh yeah, Drago's son. Yeah, he came. He was in it for a little bit.
Yeah, that's the one who hands got broken.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he came for a little bit. He helped Creed.
He trained.
Train,
Yeah.
sort of thing.
So I guess that was a solid training partner.
Yeah, there wasn't honestly, what I appreciated most about this movie, above everything else, is there was like it was its own movie. Like it wasn't dependent on Rocky.
Yeah.
Like Creed 1 and Creed 2. I mean, they stood in the shadow of Rocky, and understandably so. Like that ain't a bad thing. But Rocky is like this is a Creed movie standing on its own.
Yeah.
You know? So just like they mentioned Rocky, I think, and like you had a Rocky music.
Was he in there?
No, not at all.
I think he said he done, bro. Like,
he finished.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was in the second one.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he said after the first, he's like, "Well, this your thing, where you go shine."
Yeah,
basically,
they really made it his own thing. I ain't gonna lie, but yeah.
And even like going back to the women of the movie, like Creed's wife,
But
she almost lived like a parallel life to Jonathan Major's character, because in a way they had to go through the same struggles. Like, oh, she was going deaf, so she couldn't really be a singer anymore, so she had to hire other artists to perform her songs.
Yeah.
So it's like Jonathan Major's character, he's like, okay, I was boxing, I get locked up for you living my life now, so how you want me to deal with this? So he even talked to Creed's wife about it. He's like, so how you was dealing with this? She was like, well, I just gotta live my life, basically. And he's like, I know what all that, trying to comfort you. Get what's mine, but like at the end of the day, that's what I trying to do. I know what you talking about.
And he tried to drop the pass on her because Creed didn't tell her. I was just like, but you a slimy dude. You talk to your baby wife and just like, oh, he didn't tell you about so and so.
Yeah,
I was like, wow.
What?
Like, okay, that's how you roll it.
Yeah, that was cool, world. Because Kehlani was performing her songs, so it was interesting, and I think that gave Adonis Creed like more info on how to take him on from his wife's struggles. So that was a good parallel they put in there as well.
Yeah.
And even with his mother.
Oh yeah.
What happened?
Oh yeah.
Talking with your mom and
No. He wasn't talking about his mother. I talking about like how she got closure in life. Like I just talking about like the women in general.
Yeah.
Because it's like how Apollo Creed was. I mean, that was in the son she birthed. It was from another woman. So she was like, okay, I can finally get closure because you become fully successful now. These letters, because Jonathan Major's character, while he's in prison, gave letters to give to Creed, but his mother intercepted them so he could go on the trajectory he needed to go to get to the success. So we finally found him. He's like, why you hide this from me and all that stuff? And she's like, hey, I was trying to get you the way you needed to be. And so at that point, she was just like, well, I fully lived my life. I did everything I needed to do. So she found closure with her husband. So that was a good side as well. Yeah.
But I'm dark, man.
Yeah, man.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
How she find closure on? She's
no, I mean from like, I mean, you know what I mean. I mean, she take him in from she was a kid, so it's like, you know.
Yeah, I appreciate.
She felt like she did her job.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I appreciate this, like, and I mean, it's the movies weren't produced or made at the same time, but I appreciate between Black Panther 2 and this. That there's this sort of like focus on like the really, really cool, like the side characters matter just as much as the main characters. And I mean, they just go through some things because just like in Black Panther 2, you had spoiler for Black Panther 2. You had
Bay Straight,
but it's on Disney.
I only say it.
But it's been out for at least 5 months now.
True. It's been that long. Jeez, yeah. But just like how in Black Panther 2, you had the Queen die, and in this movie, you had Queen's mommy die, and I'm just like, hey, these people going through it, dog. But it's like good fleshed out characters, like really good fleshed out characters, and just like how Namor is a gangster, this way is a gangster, dog. Like, but I don't mess with none of them.
I know who's more of a gangster. I think Jonathan Major's character.
He ain't got wings on his feet, so yeah.
Wait, oh man.
Yeah. But both of them were just like, boy, I coming for it.
Yeah, boy.
Y'all ain't standing in my way.
You ain't lie.
But yeah.
What else can I do with this? How do you feel about the music?
I didn't know until afterwards that Dreamville produced an entire album for the movie. I had zero idea. Because the movie was banging. I mean, the music was banging. It's a boxing movie. It's black people. Of course the music could bang. But I remember searching up because I was just like, but I really want to know, especially Creed's walkout song. I was like, but I really want to know what the song is, babe. So I looked it up and I said Dreamville, or Creed 3, the album, or the movie soundtrack album produced by Dreamville. I was like, what? So yeah, Dreamville did like 15 and 16 track album for it.
Yeah, I saw that.
I thought it was slapping
as well. Yeah,
I thought it was slapping. I thought it was pretty good because there was some voices during a lot of the music. I was like, "Wait, that sound like West Side Boogie." I was like, "Wait, that sound like so and so."
Big Sean and all that.
Yeah, and Reason too. But yeah, no, I thought the music was slapping.
I even like Jonathan Major walk. I was like, wait, why does Bray
why
use Nipsey Hussle twice? Yeah. So I was like, wait, you feel like you be being betrayed like the guy who shoot Nipsey Hussle or something? That's what it was? I was like, wait, this go in deep, son.
Yeah, I mean, he did think of himself as a victim. Like, he was honest with what he did. He didn't mind serving time in prison.
Exactly.
But for him, he was just like, my life ain't give me nothing. Like, coming for it, dog.
I was like, wait. It's so weird because it's like, okay, you supposed to be out from my nice house to help you with your boxing career. Mm-hmm. You already had priors. You have a gun.
Yeah.
I didn't give you a gun.
Yep.
I mean, I know how society looks at it as like, oh, this boy right away. He didn't even help your boy, Dre. He ain't going down with him. He ain't no boy, wait. So, I mean, but I know that's a rough thing to even try to bear. Like, even in there when they said nobody should bear that, it makes sense, right? Because nobody should bear that. That's just what the circumstances was.
And that was the most powerful thing, I think, from Damon's character was at the end, after the fight, obviously Creed beat him. He in his room celebrating with his family and so on. He come over and they have a talk naturally, like boys. And you would have at least I thought after something like that, I thought your boys could be like dad upset, like dad angry, be like, "Boy, don't talk to me," whatever. But the first thing he said after Creed apologized to him, after Adonis apologized, was he was like, "Bro, you were a kid. Like nobody should have to deal with that."
Yeah.
I was like, this is some freaking good character development. This is really solid. And I mean, and it went to show that like he was more than just somebody like a boy out of jail.
Yeah.
Like he was a legitimate dude who thought that he was robbed and knew that he did wrong, and he found out the hard way that I ain't no way to go about things.
Yeah.
You know, and I like too that Creed just laughed at that, like, yeah, like if you need anything, let me know.
Big.
That's it.
Like, what else could I do?
Yeah, like what else could you do for real? Because at the end of the day, too, I mean, like he said, like he was in your house, dog.
Exactly.
You punch him in front of everybody on the beach.
You gotta be doing that.
Yeah, you gotta be doing that, no.
And even with that, the story was just, It reminded me of Naruto and Sasuke. It was like, okay, we started off on the same team, then divergence. You go onto the dark, I in the light. I got all these people who are around me, helping, bringing me up. You getting it out the mud. Sasuke ain't really get out the mud though. Let's be real. He got Itachi's eyes, but he cheated.
Of course,
he cheated. But anyways, and then they just bring it back. It's like, okay, I gotta pull you out this darkness at this point, and I gotta show you that hey, it's more to life than this, and I get you on the path again. So.
Just had to pull people behind to do it.
Exactly.
But yeah, he's trying to think. I think
there's a lot more DMs.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
What else could I think of?
Because the main ones like family, brotherhood, parent responsibility in life. You know, the typical stuff.
Yeah.
Give me your favorite moment in the movie, and then give me, I guess, your least favorite moment. Because you did say early on in the spoiler-free segment that you didn't have that much problems with it, so that means that there was something that you didn't like. So tell me something that you didn't like about the movie, and I guess tell me, I mean, we've heard good things about it, but tell me something that you didn't like about the movie, just to give people like the full spectrum of the review.
So I think my favorite moment will always be that final fight. I think the final fight was absolutely perfect. In terms of anything I had an issue with, so it's a twofold thing. I think the thing people will complain about most is the pacing of the movie.
Ooh, I was just gonna say that.
It's the pacing, because for us, like, we know anime, so the way the movie plays out feels like an anime.
Yeah.
But anime could pace itself as anime because you're dealing with hand-drawn animation. You don't necessarily need to see everything.
And you got 700 episodes, probably.
Yeah, exactly. You got time to flash out stuff in the future. Like this, it was very well written. It was very well done. I think it still was edited and paced pretty well. But they could have used a bit more time in a couple of places. Like,
oh, so you mean that they sped up? It was too quick.
It wasn't too. Yeah, like it was good as is.
Fight, I was like. A little bit now.
Yeah. Because after the second fight, they gone in it. Like they gone into it. And the movie was only like 2 hours 15 minutes. So I wouldn't have minded an extra.
It didn't feel like 2 hours. That's the problem.
No.
Yeah. So I was like, man, y'all give me 30 minutes more. Man.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit more time. Because it started solid, it ended solid. The middle was pretty good. It's just after that second fight, I think they really wanted to get to the Naruto versus Sasuke moment. And so it felt like they kind of shortchanged some stuff in there.
Yeah. Okay. Because it's like in the beginning, we fleshed out everything. Y'all should know. We gone. Yeah. Basically.
Exactly. And so, honestly, that was my criticism with Black Panther 2, too. It's just like, even though that was an almost 3-hour movie, the pacing suffers because they could have used more time in some places. Granted, Black Panther 2 is a very unique situation given everything with Chadwick and so on, but in terms of how the story plays out, a bit more time could have been allocated in some places to flesh it out.
I feel like they could have taken out time from the middle. I feel like it was like a dead slow crawl in the middle of it.
Yeah, because it was traumatic event after traumatic event after traumatic event sort of thing. Yeah. So the pacing really suffered for Black Panther 2 in that respect because there's a lot going on. Which, like,
after that fight on the bridge, there's like, okay, play our budget, go after that.
You'll take your time.
Yeah, man. Just throw a couple dollars there, man.
Exactly. So if I could have a wish for Creed 3 is give me a little bit more time in that middle section because they could have really gone in a bit more on a couple of things.
Honestly, I could have even got another fight out of that, to be honest.
Yeah. Give me one more Adonis fight at the beginning. I think that's probably the quickest they got. Although we already know how he went from the end of Creed 2 to retirement. Yeah. That happened in, like, 15 minutes.
Exactly.
Like, they ain't waste no time. Like, the beginning of the movie is flashback. You come back, he beat this boy, and then that's it.
Yeah.
You know? And there wasn't a whole ton of downtime to process that because right after that, you go straight into, okay, he's been owning this gym for a while.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. So yeah.
Okay. Well, if y'all have anything else to say?
I mean, my favorite part is the brush still, though.
The brush.
That iconic, bro. Like,
yeah, but that's a moment.
Anybody who go in high school in Nassau, they watch that.
They know.
Come on, bro.
Yeah,
I was like, but he have to have a towel in his back pocket, too, but
for real.
He have to, wait.
2023 was a good start for movies. We've gotten some pretty good bangers so far. I would give this easily probably 8 out of 10. And I mean,
I agree.
I hope the rest of the year follows suit. I don't know if we have any other sports movies coming in. Oh, the Nike movie.
Yeah, the Nike movie.
Yeah. I think that's what it's falling out. But yeah.
Well, there you have it. New segment, new heat. We still don't have a name, but
You should call it that. New segment, new heat.
Okay.
Or just call it new heat.
There you have it. New heat.
That's the sun on the island, bro.
Hey, they always gonna find it by the end of this episode.
There you have it, man.
But that's our Creed 3 review. As you can tell, these guys are very passionate about it. They thoroughly enjoyed the movie. Me, on the other hand, I'm going to go and watch the movie. I'm going to, I want to live what they lived. I want to live what they live. But Craig, do you have anything else to say to the people? He will be back to review other movies, if his schedule allows.
Yeah.
He put him on there now. We're just putting that
That's a
out
busy
there.
man, man.
Just putting that out.
I ain't got really much else to say. Not like it and go.
But if you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. If you're listening on any audio platform, you should be watching on YouTube because it's different. You could get the full the gist of it. But we still appreciate you. Leave us a 5-star rating. Leave your comments. Let us know what we can do better. So we are trying to be better, and we can be better with your help.
Facts.
Until next time, Fanatic Islanders, be safe. We adore you, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.